So bring your hands up. Yeah, bring your hands up, and drop your shoulder blades. So as you drop your shoulder blades, your elbows fall into place. It just kind of swivels from here. Okay. Oh, did I start recording? Yeah, I'm recording. Yeah. So when you come out from here, you want to just feel your shoulder blades expanding out. So come out and extend your shoulder blades out, and it's going to lift, and then you drop your shoulder blades. As you drop your shoulder blades, the elbow drops. But as the elbow drops, don't pull it back. Right? You just drop your shoulder blade, it falls straight down. You want to feel that connection, that stretch back here. Right? And this lineup that our teacher used to talk about, it's still applicable to a lot of things, but he would always tell us second finger, second line, eye level. So right about there. Right, so it's right about here, yes, second line eye level. So when you lift up your hand and you start to fold, there's a little bit, it's almost straight, but it might lift up a little bit and no higher than the top of your own shoulder. Right? You can see I'm not like this. So my arms drop, I'm lifting and extending. I can feel my shoulder blades dropping down, relax the top of the shoulders, and then it just folds. Sink my shoulders, let it fold, and let it fold back in, right, from here. So it's interesting because from the beginning with my teacher, I could see all of these right angles and 45 degrees. They're very obvious. It's very straightforward. Right? Okay, so from the front, it's about the width of the shoulders. It just picks up, right? It's rounded. This is sunken down, and as it's lifting, it just drops, and it falls. Right? So you have that, right? You have that V shape, that right angle right over there. So it comes up and down, and it sinks. And this comes up and there. So so what you do is you pick it straight up, right? It's going to fold in, and as you turn your body into it. You don't pull or fight. You just let the arm move with the turn. But you notice when I turn, my hand is still in this plane. Right? It doesn't go sideways. So it's going to come up. I'm going to turn. It's going to fold into here. Right? The edge of my hand is still facing the front. But if I turn a little bit more, then this turns with me. Right? It just moves with me. So now the palm is facing 45 that way. This is facing 45 that way from there, 45 degrees. So if I extend my hand, then it's the same position. Right? So you come up, and then as you fold, turn your waist 45 degrees. Yeah. And just let it follow. Just let your hands follow. Turn 45 degrees. Okay? So end up same place, exactly the same form, except your waist is turned 45. Yeah. And you want to do that 2 sides. See? So that's one way. Just come up and just turn. Yeah. Everything moves. Okay. So then the other way is you're going to come up, but as you turn, this hand doesn't move with the body. This hand stays right in the front. So, Bon, come. So, let's see, kind of turn this way, yes. So, if I'm coming here, right, and I'm folding, you're not supposed to move.
You pulled me.
Just hold your hand here, right? And it should just slide, right? She doesn't move. Like if I'm standing on the side, she just slides. I mean, Yeah, go this way. You go this way. Yeah. So if I'm here, it just slides. So one way, right? She's going to be the indicator. One way, when I turn my waist, my hand is going to move, right? So she's moving, and I end up here. Yeah. So come back. Right? Yes. Just put your hand there. So while I'm doing this, right, it's moving. But the other way is this has to fold. So I don't want her to move. So as I'm folding, this stays here. Okay, so you see what happens, right? I'm not pushing her to the side anymore. So yeah, so keep your hand here, relax, relax. Right? So I lift my hand up, and as I turn, I fold into here. Right? So this hand doesn't run away. So this hand is close to me now from here. Okay. So I'm going to come up and fold. So if you don't have, thank you. Okay, so if you don't have another person, you can do it against a wall. So let's say, come back. I'm sorry. So, right. So let's say I'm standing next to the wall. Right. So I'm going to be just brushing the wall, right, just inside from here. So as I turn, right, I'm not going to fight the wall. This has to fold, right? So I'm going to fold into it here. Okay. And then what I want you to do is make this a little higher. So then now this is the height of your face. So it's going to pick up a little higher and the height of your face. Right? Pick up a little higher and the height of your face. So you're going to swivel. You have to swivel against the wall. Right? So you could use the door jamb or whatever wall you have to get that. Right? So you have to fold inside. Okay? So you come up and you fold, right? It's right next to your body. Right? It's right here. Okay, anybody guess what we're doing yet? This is Taichi, right? I'm getting to Taichi, right hand or left hand, right? So I've turned the other way, same thing, right? I'm going to fold. One way is to fold, and the other way is the body moves. Right? One way I push something on the side, the other way I'm just swiveling from it. Okay? So, anybody guess what move we're doing? Okay, I don't know. So I can see Tony saying something, but we're doing knee, right? This is the top hand for brush knee. Right? So from here, right? We're starting in brush knee though. We're starting from here, and then we're turning, and it just slides up close to you, and then it just falls and comes back to here. So if your hands are here, then they would still have to come up to here. Right? If you're big and strong and you don't care about being subtle, right? Come. Right? You're big and strong, you don't care about being subtle, right? Everywhere you turn, you're the bull. Just stand, just stand.
I want to be big.
Just stand. Everywhere you stand, you're the bull in the china shop. You're just, mindless. You're big and strong. You don't care, right? So you turn, boom, everything turns. But that's not what we want to do, right? We want to be subtle. We want to conserve energy, right? We don't want to disturb things around us, right? Relax. Drop your right shoulder, right? So just hold this here, hold this here, hold this here, right? So when I pick up, it's subtle. Right? And subtle means if this is against a person, you don't want the person to know you did anything. So you just have to kind of be soft and swivel against them. So if I need to move them, right, if she's stiff and strong, right, then by relaxing and moving my whole body and turning, then she moves. But it's not because I pushed her with here. It's because all I did with the wide stance is I just shifted my weight to one leg, right? So I'm standing on one leg. This is relaxed. This still folds. So it's the whole body working together. There's a spiral, right, from here as the hand comes up, and that's what makes it work. So what you have to focus on is right in this joint, right over here, of this folding. It just folds here. Right? So as she turns, it folds. As she turns, it opens. So open and, right? So it's going to open, the joint's going to open, right? Joint's going to, she's not that close. I know it looks like she was really close in there. If I turn this way, it opens. If I turn back, it folds straight back to me. Right? So the angle opens and then it folds, right? So opening and then folding. Opening and folding. And this is important because it's one of the principles in the Taichi. So when you study the Taichi, one of the strengths principles is shoulder strike. Back of shoulder, side of shoulder, front of shoulder. So when you open, right, this actually hyperextends forward, right? And this pops out a little bit. And then, oh, she ran away. So when I open, there's a shoulder strike. You can see her move. Yeah, I'm not moving my body. I'm just opening the joint, and that's the strike over here. So one of the subtle things is when you open, that pops out. So if you falling, somebody pulls you, right? They pull you, right? They pull you like this, right? You have that the knee-jerk reaction is either to stop or to kind of ball up, right? Or to go head first. But if I pull her and then she relaxes and just opens this joint into me, relax, step forward, and open the joint. Yeah, fall into me, fall your shoulder into me. Yes, like this. Yeah, there. She'll just strike me. You just pop that forward from here. So that's one of the shoulder strikes that when you first learn Tai Chi and they talk about shoulder strikes, if I say, hey, shoulder strike, where do you think of? Up here, right? Or over here? This whole area is the shoulder. That's the shoulder strike. So if you go and read your Tai Chi, the strengths and things, one of it is shoulder strike. So same thing, back of shoulder, right? If I'm here, yeah, just stand there, stand straight. No, not your butt. Don't stick your butt out into me. Just shoulder, right? So if that's front of shoulder, then that's shoulder blade. Okay, just touch my shoulder blade, sit back a little, right there. There. So that's only the shoulder blade. So that's all that is pushing the shoulder blade out. So if you push that shoulder blade out. No, not here, the shoulder blade. You have to push here, the shoulder blade. It is. Relax. Arms down, or just push your shoulder blade out. Yeah. There, feel, no. You can see you're lifting the shoulder, yeah? So lifting the shoulder is, you have to untrain that and you have to really discover that shoulder blade. So when we do this, right, you're really discovering shoulder blade in there, okay? All right, so we get back to that movement again, that swiveling. Right? So if we start looking at the sun form comes from here. You have to really relax this joint. Right? As you turn, this just slides up into place. This is the height of your heart. Right? Bottom hand is supporting the heart. This is the height of your head, third eye, crown. So you're moving the chi and rising the chi from the heart, right, up to the third eye and the crown. As you come back, this starts to drop and starts to swivel forward. And as you turn forward, right, your waist is going to start turning more. You drop the heel of the palm and then lift the sternum and it expands. Relax the lower hand and just stretch enough where everything's connected, right? If my right hand comes out, my whole waist turns, my left hand comes back in relationship to my body. Everything works together. Okay? So relaxing the hip, because the pelvic joints have to move, waist has to turn, right? Shoulders, everything has to swivel, right? The arm, while I'm turning, the arm is actually rotating so that the palm faces to the side. I'm sorry, from here, from heart, yeah? So my hand rises, I'm supporting from the solar plex, from the heart. Right? My left hand, if I'm on this side, my right hand is rising up towards my crown. And as I turn back, I'm starting to drop my palm. As I turn, it starts swiveling to the front. Then the heel of the palm drops. Then you lift the sternum, right at there, and lift the sternum. Yeah. And come down, right at there, and just lift the sternum. Right about here, heel of the palm is right about there. This hand just drops. And then from here, you turn a little bit more. And I think that's what everybody misses, is that when you start looking at your ending moves, a lot of times your ending moves, you're not square to the front. Your waist turns a little bit, right at the end. Right at the end. So if I'm with my partner, and we're square to each other this way, right? That's where everybody stops. You stop right there. Nothing happens right there. That's neutral. Right? So you hold that, drop your shoulders, just expand, hold that form, hold that form. Right? So if I come right here, right? If I come right here, that's square. Nothing happens. But if I turn just a little bit, she's trying to challenge me. So from here, I'm coming out, I tap, I drop, I'm square. Turn a little bit more. When I turn a little bit more, then there's a little bit expansion that comes out. You can see she's off balance. She's trying not to be, right? But if I come from here and I come here, boom, I'm straight to the front. So I have to turn a little bit more. So when you turn a little bit more, you have to feel this fold into that side. Okay, thank you. I'm going to pay for this later. Right? So if you look at the relationship of my body, right, when I'm 45 from here, as I come to the front, right, I'm turning, I'm back square to the front, right there, that's right there, but nothing happened, there's no issue, right, you're just neutral with nature, with whatever oncoming force, and that's fine. If that's all you need to do, then you have to be totally relaxed. But if you want to issue, then you have to turn a little bit more, and as you turn, right, so this is even, right, as I turn a little bit more, then one hand can come forward, the other hand comes back a little bit. So square and then turn. And right at that turn, if you watch this palm, right at that turn, that's where that happens. Right on that last turn. And you have to let everything go. Right? You're going to feel a little bit of tension, but you have to let that tension go, let everything flow, and lift the sternum, sternum is rising, and you just let everything go. It just like poof. That's all it is. You just poof. Yeah, like we're all human, right? So if you're holding that gas, right? You're holding that gas, you just kind of even, and you walk out of the door, and you go, poof. You have to let everything go and just release, right? And then you collect yourself, and you come back, and you do the other side. 3-year-old, I have fart jokes on my mind all day long. Should hear the parents and the grandma. You don't do that in public, right? You don't do that in school. It's like, oh, God, she only does it with Qigong. Okay, so you're holding this nice posture, but relaxed, right? Just turning, just rising, gently breathing in. This starts really supporting. This is opening up here. Start exhaling, just dropping, letting everything curve and drop into place. You're just about square, right? When you square, just clearing the knee, just about here, and then turn a little bit more. Yeah. Try that again. Yeah? If you take your time, you can just feel it. You're really relaxed. Palm facing you, supporting, right? Compressing into compressing to the elbow, just expanding. Starting to exhale, relaxing. And then start lifting the sternum. And then give it that last little turn and yeah. Oh, nice. Try that one more time. And just try it on your own. Just really think of the breath, the fullness. Yeah. So I can see a few of you, right on that turn and that right? You can feel that little shake comes out, right? That little vibration comes out. And that's what you want. Doesn't matter right or left side. Just kind of take your time, almost waiting square and then and letting everything go. So the drill could be doing all one side, resetting, or eventually what I like to do is just go back and forth. So you're breathing in, taking your time, right? Resetting whenever you need to, right? Letting everything finish, so you're still moving. And then when you're ready to breathe in, the other side. One hand supporting from the heart, the other hand flowing up to the third eye, and then forward, square, and So right on that last turn, lift the sternum, right? Just tilt the sternum up. Let everything go, and then when you're ready, coordinating the breath, the mind, the breath, the movement. And it just folds. Turn the waist all the way 45. Yeah, so it's a very slow study. So this hand here, and there's all kinds of ways to do this, right? It's all there to whatever degree. So this hand is spiraling down. So it's right, the edge is facing you. As I'm turning, as I'm starting to turn back, I'm just releasing the wrist. So the hand starts as I turn, and this shoulder opens up. I'm just releasing the wrist, so it starts to fall. At the same time releasing the wrist, I'm starting to turn the palm forward. So it has this kind of corkscrew motion coming through. So it's dropping and turning, right? And then the heels, and then the fingers come out. The fingers are your sensors, and then the heel starts to drop. You square, and then when you give that last little turn and that last right, expands, and after you give that little then you have to let the wrist go, and so you have this little, it should have that feeling. It doesn't have to look like this, but right, so if I'm coming from the side, it's coming forward, right, it's dropping, it's corkscrewing, the piezoform is dropping down, and then and then relax a little. There's a little follow through. So in Yang style, you really show that follow through. I could still do it like this, corkscrewing. I feel something, this drops down, and and then I would just let this go all the way. Yang style will allow this to do this. The Sun style, right? You're coming out, still fingers. It's a little bit more structured, and here you don't show this, but you have to feel it. So you still have to let go a little bit. See that small little subtle movement? You have to let go. And you're moving so slow that you don't have to drop your hand all the way down, because we're not trying to exude that much power out of our body, right? We're not trying to like push the medicine ball 10 feet away. We're just letting go of whatever energy you're building up in here, right? So this is gathering energy. As you do it in repetition, you start to become aware of that 5 element, right? That circulating, washing down, feeling that, collecting, and then projecting from the heart. This starts to expand, and then slowly it's just turning, right? And then that little explosion, and then letting go, relax everything, relaxing, and slowly gathering up again, right? This is washing down, collecting here. This is floating, collecting here, expanding. And as you refine the movement, you're trying to get the amount of energy to actually be 50-50. And you have to let everything go. And that's one of the lessons of the Taichi symbol, the yin yang. You have to be equal. So however you want to look at it, 50% left, 50% right? Or 100% and 100%, whatever makes sense to you. But it's not 60-40, it doesn't add up. Right? Lifting and then relaxing. Just holding it there. Letting everything go. Somebody might say, hey, why'd you stop? Inside yourself, you didn't stop, right? You're letting everything go. Everything's falling and dropping into place. Right there, everything's just settling into place. Still moving. Just relaxing my top wrist. Heel of the palm drops. letting everything go. So as you expand like this, right? As this hand sweeps down and supports, and this hand sweeps up, pay attention to the amount of energy, not sure how to say it properly for you, the amount of energy, the amount of force, that the amount of heaviness, the amount of release. In other words, right, if it's like this, and they're both issuing energy this way, they can't go anywhere from here because it's equal. Same amount of force going this way, same amount of force going this way. So same amount of energy going down, if you're feeling here, letting everything go, same amount of energy here. You want more energy, then both have to expand equally. So right at that point of expansion has to be equal. It's not equal energy coming out 100% of the time. And sometimes one has to be a little bit more yang, one has to be a little bit more yin. And that's the manipulation. But when you want to expel the energy and let it go, that then you actually feel it coming out of both, even though the strike might be here, right? The issue might be here. Over here has to actually have an equal amount going down, left and right. So that's something to really study. Okay. So we transfer that to standing now. So if you go back and if you go to YouTube and you find that I can't remember what it was called. You look for it's Fajin. I can see the tape. I can't think of the name of the guy who does it. I think I shared it before, but it's he's a Yang style Taichi master, and he talks about Fajin. Fajin is that explosion of energy. That's where guys want to go like boom, and the guy flies away. Or somebody's holding their hand and they just want to explode all the energy there. They just want to like, and the guy flies off. That's Fajin. Yeah. So his demo is somebody's holding both wrists and he just shifts a little and the guy flies. So he explains the theory behind yin yang. When you look at yin yang, black and white, right? He says you notice equal amount of black, equal amount of white. Has to be the same. So if you're holding your form, it can be parallel, or you can do one leg forward if you want, whatever, right? And your hands are up, so you kind of here or like this, or here, whatever's comfortable. You just have that nice posture, right? This is coming up with the head, the chin has to drop down, neck has to expand. Spine is expanding, but everything is falling. Elbows are down, shoulders are down. As you're holding this posture, no resistance with the feet. Legs are very relaxed. Everything very relaxed, but full and open. And then what I want you to do is, right, the hip has to be relaxed. And just imagine the legs getting heavy, heavy, heavy. So you have to let all the tension go in the legs. You have to relax and let all this go so you can feel everything sinking to the bottom of your feet. Bottom of your feet, the soles, no restriction. It's just imagine it's just like a concrete column that we're just sinking down. The more you relax, the more you can sink. You can feel the bottom of your feet getting heavy, heavy. Fold here a little bit more. Yeah, fold. Yeah. And just you have to really let go. Thighs have to let go. Everything has to let go. From there, just really heavy. Left and right are equal. So the trick is, as you're doing the form, as you're walking, you try and do a drill where this heaviness of the legs, this totally relaxed, right? Good posture, totally relaxed, totally heavy. That's the drill. So if you just do a stepping up where the weight comes from the back, and then you turn your waist, right, and it transfers to the front, very short, right? Sitting back and turning back to the front and shifting the weight, right? If I face you, right, my waist is going to turn towards my back leg. As I shift to the front, it's going to turn to the front. Just a short, and then you can switch legs as you need to switch. So just holding, right? And just imagine the legs heavy, heavy, heavy. You're sitting on the back leg, keeping both legs relaxed and heavy. And as you shift, slowly shift, relax the hip. And both legs have to be totally relaxed and heavy. It's going to change, right? So as you move from front to back, the only way to be exactly is to just have a straight stance. But as you shift your weight to one side and you shift the weight to the other, you're going to feel that change. That's okay, as long as you're thinking and flowing the weight, flowing the force down into your legs, and just making them as heavy as possible. You'll feel which one becomes heavier naturally. The other one will be a little bit lighter, will start to empty. But as you shift back, right, you're just focusing on as heavy as possible, right? This one becomes lighter naturally. I'm not trying to press this leg down from there. Okay? So you're trying to maintain this feeling while you're shifting. So relaxed, heavy, no resistance in the feet, shifting, right, turning your waist to the front. So you have to move slow to allow for those adjustments. And then sitting back and turning. And the upper body is just nice and upright and relaxed. No leaning forward, no leaning back. Hip is open. Shoulders down, relaxed. If you get that real heavy feeling, right, as you shift all the way, right, then I could pick up the leg. As I pick up this leg, I'm focusing on this being heavy, relaxed, flowing down as possible. So then I'm shifting. I pass through 50% to 100 and 0%, right, for each leg. Relaxed upper body, free one leg. This leg is planted, rooted into the ground, sinking. And take your time to free that leg so you don't shift your body out of center, out of balance. As I pick up my leg, I'm sinking down in this leg. I don't lift my body, right? I have to let all this go. I have to trust. I have to trust that that's just going to anchor and root itself. So I'm going to sink everything down. Just have that nice posture while I release the back leg. And just feel how that whatever leg you're standing on just sinks, roots all the way into the ground. So my concept of rooting has really changed. You don't have to grip the ground. You just sink and expand and flow. And that way energy from the earth can also rise up through you or around you. When I pick up my leg, my hip, my pelvic has to be totally relaxed. Okay. So you start off with one drill where you're just focusing on the leg and just switching back and forth. If I'm just standing like this, right, where my feet are even, then they're 50-50. They're both equally heavy into the ground, but as I shift, right, you can feel one. So what about the hands, right? If I fold my hands like this, it's a different feeling because my upper body is not involved in that energy. So I can't really study yin yang properly, right? If I do that, if I do this, but by holding your hands up, you start to activate your hands. So what you need to do, the next level is you're going to activate your hands, and you have to think, okay, if it's cannot be 60% legs and 40% hands, or 60% hands, upper body, and 40% lower body. It has to be 50% up here, 50% here. Okay, it has to be equal. So to the drill now, you add that fullness of your hands, whether your hands are here, or whether your hands are here, or whether your hands are here, just so they're up, and you have to imagine, okay, fullness, right? The same amount of fullness I have up here is the same amount of fullness flowing into the ground. If you move fast, you cannot make those adjustments. You still have to be relaxed. That one leg, it has all that fullness matching the upper body. You have to be letting go of the hip, the pelvic joints as you move. You can't fight, you can't resist, but the hands are full. Shoulders have to be released. You take your time so you can make those adjustments. It's a constant adjustment. Constantly making sure you're releasing the joints, constantly making sure that it's the same energy in your legs, the same amount of energy in your palms. So you can slowly, you can see what I'm doing. I'm slowly adding the form to your hands, right? So we're going from still to a little bit of motion, to more motion, but you have to move slowly so you can study that. You can study every point. You can fix every point. You can adjust every point. So I'm just slowly moving into grasp the bird's tail, making sure I'm not holding, and I'm making those adjustments. You could do whatever form you want, or you could take the form straight out of the sunset. Taking so much time, as much time you need for fix all your postures, your head, your shoulders, your hip, your leg. You have tension on the bottom of your feet. Are you curling your toes? Are you trying to grab the ground? Are they just relaxed? So the people who think that the slow movement is, oh, it's only for old people, right? They don't get it. They don't understand really the purpose. The fact that it's slow and gentle makes it great, right? Makes it great for older crowd, makes it great for people who have mobility issues. But that's not what it was created for. And everything has to be connected. Right? Whatever form you want, whatever comes out of you. If you only know one form, right, that's in your body, then you just do the one form. If you get bored of one form, then you have to learn another form. That's your incentive. So from here, if I release, right, it still has to be full. You just let everything go, but that same energy. Over here, where I'm collecting, right, I cannot be tight. It still has to be equal. Yeah. So I'll try and find that that website again. It was I think it was called The Martial Man. You go on YouTube. I think the program is The Martial Man, and I'm amazed at what access he gets. I think his attitude is such that all these masters open doors for him. But yeah, I think it's called The Martial Man, and you look for Fajin, Fajin, with the Yang style Fajin. And he's just explaining the theory and he's demonstrating the theory, and that's where this comes from. For me, that's where this comes from. And the other part of that was watching that other Yang style teacher in the park, where I don't know who he is. And his whole style was just relaxed. His whole style, how he played really spoke to me. You know, it's probably might be the only form I could watch all the way through of long form Tai Chi, and he was just taking his time like this. You know, almost looking like he's stopping, but he's not stopping. He's just finishing the move. You can see everything's full and taking his time, right? Not rushing, taking his time so that everything can be corrected. You know, whether or not he does the form like that 100% of the time, I kind of doubt, but that's where he was at the time of the filming. And he was just slow and careful. And you could just see he had something. And it was soft, it was full at the same time. And he'd finish the move like that. If you watch him, he's still moving, still moving, still moving. Finish the move, settle, the breath finishes, the movement finishes, he's totally centered, and then the leg picks up and he does the next move. Then the hand picks up, he does the next move. Yeah. So relax. Find your alignment. Expand and relax. Feet resting on the ground. Head lightly pulled up into the sky. Shoulders down. Shoulders relaxed. Just the abdominals, just the lower belly moving in and out as you breathe. As you finish, just rest your hands on your lap. Palms either face up or facing down. It's up to you. You feel the difference.